As if we needed any more confirmation that we live in the world's dumbest timeline, Fox host Tucker Carlson recently talked about swollen balls. It all started when rapper Nicki Minaj shared some hesitancy about the COVID-19 vaccine. She first expressed that hesitancy to get shot in a series of tweets, beginning when she revealed that she had contracted coronavirus before the VMAs. So I don't really care too much about the celebrity stuff, but she responded to people who were like, hey, you should probably get your vaccine. And she says, well, I didn't. And yes, I wasn't doing these public appearances because, not because of COVID-19, no, it's because of my baby. I had a new baby and I'm not vaccinated. And then, you know, to people, of course, who were telling her to get vaccinated, she responded with things like, Drake told me he got COVID with the vaccine. Yeah, okay. And you can have a breakthrough infection. That does happen. I'll explain the science behind that later. But she also replied to other people, sending her research on the vaccine, saying that she had experienced the same symptoms as people with the damn vaccine, and the idea that the vaccination prevents more serious symptoms of COVID-19 is quote unquote not true in her opinion. But it is true. Yes, the vaccine does prevent more serious symptoms. And what it does is that it teaches your body how to fight COVID-19 more effectively. That's what the COVID-19 vaccine does. You create antibodies that will home in, that are shown how to attack the spike protein and destroy the virus before it can replicate and make you seriously ill. That's really it. That's very, 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 very simple science behind it. That's what it does. It's prevention. Vaccines are about prevention mostly, but also if you do happen to be sick, then your body knows how to fight it better. That's really it. That's really it. And look, no one has ever claimed that it was 100% effective at prevention. No, actually, you still have about a 1 in 5,000 chance of having a breakthrough infection with COVID. And if you do, it's very, very likely to be mild. That percent is even lower for people who take precautions or live in a highly vaccinated community. It's almost as if, I don't know, vaccines work. Weird. To give a real-world example, we can look at the states with higher vaccination rates versus lower vaccination rates, and it turns out the infection rates in the least vaccinated areas are about 4 times as high as in the most vaccinated states. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, that's good enough evidence for me. So now let's get to the balls. What everybody's waiting to hear. The real nutty part of the story. So Tucker Carlson weighed in, and he decided that he's going to go and read this tweet on a show, and well, I'll take a look.
He added this. She said that her cousin in Trinidad, quote, won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now that girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Which seems sensible. Big reaction to this. We'll report on that tomorrow.
He read that on air. What is going on here? So okay, let's just kind of break this down, because it's like there's ridiculousness from all sides here. Okay, so your cousin's friend's fiance left because his balls got huge and left him impotent, and that's why your cousin's not vaccinated, because of the cousin's friend, and this is your basis. This is your scientific basis for, you know, saying, oh, you should be careful with the vaccine. What is going on? Look, I hate to break it to you, or your cousin's friend in another country, your cousin or your cousin's friend, but that's not a side effect of the vaccine. Okay, swollen balls is not a side effect. Impotence is not a known side effect of the vaccine. Nonetheless, I love how Tucker Carlson says, seems sensible. No, it's not. Not. Okay, so since we're talking impotence here, let me tell you one of the possible side effects of getting COVID-19. Now, according to a couple of investigations, one of them is by physicians and researchers at the University of Miami, COVID-19 may cause some dysfunction and infertility in men. Oops. Oh. So now, apparently decreased sperm count was recorded in some of the men that were studied. And so that's a result of the virus getting into that area, of course, of the body and just kind of hanging around there. And erectile dysfunction, because of the infection had caused reduced blood supply to, well, you know. Yeah. So, look, to be fair, this was a very small sample size for that study. It's not the only one, but of course, more research is needed. Another study was, of course, done in Italy and found that for men with a history of COVID-19, the estimated risk of developing erectile dysfunction was approximately 6 times higher. And those numbers remained even after other factors were considered and ruled out. So that study was led by Emanuele A. Giannini, MD, professor of endocrinology and medical sexology, and was published in the March 20th edition of Andrology. Other preliminary studies have shown similar results. So, protect your balls, get a vaccine, wear your mask, and other than that,
Stop with the questions. Celebrate.
if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.